I'm scared to ask you this.
Yeah, go ahead.
First of all, look at my hair. Oh my god. Um, how do you feel as we wind down? How do you feel as this project? I don't know what the word is.
Winds down.
Winds down. Four more episodes. 4 more episodes.
Yeah, I know this is 48, 49, 50, 55, 5 total.
52.
Yeah, 52.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't really know. It's a little melancholic. Actually, it's interesting that you mentioned that because obviously we got a lot of comments about it.
Yeah.
I will absolutely be sad if this podcast show is over because I freaking love it. I will be very
Also,
sad.
it could be a hiatus. Doesn't have to necessarily be over. A lot of podcasts take hiatus, and then depending on what's happening in life, it starts back up.
Yeah, this person said, "What about doing a show once a month?"
Mhm.
No, love you cats together. Hope you continue
Yeah.
the podcast. I listen each week.
Cats.
Cats, yeah. So, but yeah, I don't know. I think I'm okay with it. It's true. It could be a hiatus. I don't know. I always feel like when you say like, "Oh, it's a hiatus," it's like going on a break in a relationship.
Mm.
Then we're like stuck in like limbo mode, you know? How
Mhm.
long's the break?
Right.
Are they seeing other people? You know, you start a podcast with somebody else. I start a podcast with somebody else.
Right, then you feel
I
well, that
feel
would so I'm not doing that. I mean, I actually, if you did it, I would have 0, like, no resentment, no anger, nothing, but, I would not stop this and start another one because the one of the reasons why, on my side, I'm stopping it is just because bandwidth. So, that would be that I lied to you if I stop this and start another one with someone else. It's like, um, this is more about too many things on my plate for me.
yeah.
For you, it might be different reasons, right? So, but also Sean's starting his podcast, so I feel like your podcast was on hiatus because
Well,
you never deleted it, you know?
yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. Things
Oh yeah,
change, John. Everything changes all the time.
and I gotta say, and this is rippling into everything, not just this podcast. Is I think I underestimated what's happening in my life. Someone told me, my own therapist told me that I may be bypassing, and I was kind of defensive about that. Just because you have cried doesn't mean that you're not bypassing, right? And so what's happening for me now is, 3 months in and a lot of life changes. Dude, I've permanently downshifted. So I'm usually in sport mode or in fifth gear, just at life, at the gym, running around. And dude, I'm
Uh,
like in third gear, but not revving. I'm in third gear at like
you're
2,500
cruising.
RPM,
You're cruising.
cruising.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
because of that, I don't wanna take on more projects, like, I even, like, after this, I gotta, do this other Zoom thing, and, like, I have anxiety about it, and, like, yeah, there's been, like, an internal shift where, the best way to describe it is, like, dude, I'm living a downshifted life, which is very weird for me.
You're on a coastal road, you know? You're on the one and you're cruising. You're not and you're stuck behind an RV maybe, I don't know.
I'm usually in the, Malibu canyons, ripping
Jamming
around. Yeah, that's
or
my life.
ripping. Yeah.
So to be on the one with the windows rolled down and noticing trees at 52, this is all new, man.
Yeah. Maybe you're in the RV, actually. Maybe you're in the RV, and I'm behind you going,
Yeah.
"God damn it."
Dude, I got Holiday Run playing, and I'm in the fucking RV.
Yeah.
I'm in the RV, yeah.
Dude, maybe you're in the RV. It's an RV
Just
kinda nothing wrong with an RV, I just wanna say.
well, it's not my style, but don't see a minivan. If I'm in a minivan, I've given up on life. An RV,
Look,
I could
John,
understand.
the minivan is like the beige underwear, dude.
It is. It represents the beige under
No,
and you know
but
what?
you
There's some cool
Hey,
minivans now, but I just can't never I can never have a minivan.
everybody, I just wanna give love to all you minivan drivers out there. There are people right now listening to this in the back in the front of a Toyota Sienna. Coolest minivan ever made, by the way.
Hey, oh my god, wait, hold on real quick. Sorry, hold on. That's how I know you're a car guy. That's how I know you're a legit car guy because the Toyotas, because I've rented one of those many times, is like one of the best, vehicles ever made.
People love the Sienna.
Yes, yes.
You can live in a Sienna, you could have 7 kids in a Sienna.
They're just amazing cars, right? I'll never buy one,
You
but
didn't need me to talk about the Sienna to know that I'm a car guy. That's
no, but
almost,
that's
it's like insulting to me as a car
no, no,
guy.
no, Sean, no one talks about the
I roll up in
that
a
car
manual 2001 M5, not a car guy, but I talk about the Sienna stamp of approval.
because no one knows about the Sienna, because it's understated, because it's a fucking minivan. Who talks about the Sienna?
So
Car
so
guys.
maybe you are a Sienna guy.
No, I'm not. I'm not gonna buy a Sienna.
Look, I just wanna give love to everybody who does have a minivan. I don't
Yeah.
hate on minivans the way John does, or beige underwear. There
Do
was, it's funny actually, Apple Computer, I'm
Yeah.
gonna Apple Computer. Remember the iMac that was all the colors? The,
Oh,
like, kind of,
right.
like,
Right. Started
looked like a
white and then all the rainbow color, the Skittle
it was
colors.
a blob, it was, like, kind of a
Yeah.
life-changing computer. Um, there was an ad for that that says, "Doesn't come in beige."
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, see? See?
I
I was
saw it
on point.
recently. I saw it
Look,
recently.
that being said, if Vanessa, comes into my bedroom in beige underwear, it doesn't turn me off at all. It's kind of what it represents. The whole thing about the beige underwear isn't that the underwear itself is that bad. It just represents beige. And it's also with the minivan, it's what it represents. It's not the actual car that I don't. It's the
Yeah, well
representation of it, the
right, but
identity
what
of it.
does it represent?
Well, in my eyes, and maybe it's something I need to correct, the minivan represents, I mean, not only family, but people who have to sacrifice, their, Porsches and true automobiles and motorcycles because, they are now giving that side up for family. So now I'm gonna be safe and I'm
Yeah,
gonna,
that's stupid. Why would you wanna do that?
you shouldn't give no, you're right. No, dude, you shouldn't give up those parts of your life.
No, but, like,
I mean, I get
you
safety, but
sometimes you do have to give up parts of your life as a sacrifice to your family and your children.
there are some parts you do have to sacrifice, but I also believe that if you sacrifice everything, it's like that Carl Jung quote that I don't know how it goes, but the worst thing you could give your child is you not being happy or you. So like if you genuinely love, say, motorcycles, and because now you have a family, you're forced to give that up. There's a part of you that is dying. Now, if you want to give that up because you have changed, that's totally fair.
I
You
would
know,
love to see you strap a car seat to the back of your Harley,
no, that's I wouldn't do
driving
that.
Logan around.
That's irresponsible. On the handlebars, on the handlebars like ET.
Yeah, or in, like, one of those baby carriers. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like life is compromise, and there has to be room for letting go of things that are just no longer really serving you, you know?
Yes, and I
And
wanna say that this podcast isn't really letting go of something that's not serving me because I get joy from this. I also feel kind of bad because I don't know,
I
I don't
wasn't talking
wanna,
about the
like.
podcast. I was talking about, like, I was still talking about minivans.
Yes, and that's right, but I also bring things back, so,
Boomerang.
we
Yeah, what do you feel bad about?
that I brought it up. I think I brought it up, but then you agreed. I feel bad if you're hurt by it. I feel bad if I kinda feel guilty, even though we both agree and it's okay. It sounds like it's okay with you.
You could ask me a question.
I can ask you a question.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Instead of feeling bad about if I'm okay with it or not okay with it, you could
I
ask a
can ask
question.
you if you fee how you feel about it as you're saying,
How do you feel about me
right?
bringing this up first?
Right. So that's what I'm this whole podcast, the beginning of this is how do you feel about us ending this? That's what I said.
Well,
I
no,
I didn't
that's
say
different.
personal.
That's different. That's different. It's like, how do you feel about this podcast ending? But you're
Oh, okay,
feeling
right.
guilty about bringing it up,
Okay, so
right?
how do you feel about me bringing it up, not you bringing it up? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like me actually instigating it, I guess.
I'm grateful because I was going to bring it up.
No way.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Well, I
Oh
was gonna
shit. I didn't know that.
check in. Well, I've been a little embarrassed to bring it to talk about it.
Why? Oh, embarrassed. Did you feel bad that I was gonna be like, well, what are you doing? Or you're leaving me? Or what do you mean by
Uh,
embarrassed?
No, I mean, I think it's vulnerable to talk about, like,
Yeah.
what may or may not be working in our relationship.
So you felt something.
I felt something,
And
yeah.
and what did you and you're great at feeling, Sean, by the way. Well, what did you feel? Is it more of our dynamic or life happening or I'm being fucking weird, I've lost my mind? Or is it more like statistics like, we've done a good run, it's been a year, it
I
was
think it's a
great.
combination I think it's a combination, but
Yeah.
if I'm being totally honest, I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
there's a part of it being our dynamic
Yeah, that's fair.
that I'm not feeling as I think I'm not feeling as close to you as I kind of wish I could or
Why
wish
do you
I
think that
were.
is? I think that's real. I could sense that. Do you think, that is because of people pulling back or life or you coming to LA and having, us talking
No,
about all this stuff and
no,
like
I think it has to do with us. Doesn't have to do with
oh,
anybody else.
yeah, yeah.
Um, I talked about this with my therapist,
Mm.
and I'll try to do the conversation that we had justice, which was that sometimes I wish I could know you more,
Mm.
and I have struggled at times to like to understand or to get closer to you in terms of how you're feeling.
What is it that I do that is difficult? By the way, I really appreciate you saying that, man. It's really vulnerable. What is it that I do that is it that makes it hard for you to get to know me? Because I'm sure it's not just you. I'm sure it's everyone. Like how
Well,
am I? That is,
I don't know if it's everyone, but
yeah,
um I think an example is that like when you talked about the underwear, the beige underwear, you had all these women that were mad at you,
yeah.
and I said, "Oh wow, that sounds like really difficult. Like, how did that make you feel?"
Mm.
And then you said something like, "Well, I just knew that it was time for a change." And I was like, "Right, right, right." But how did it make you feel? And you're like, "Well, it was clear that I was on the wrong side of the internet." I was like, "Right, right, right, right." How did it make you feel? Like
Yeah,
that's what I
yeah.
want. I want to know how you're feeling.
So, if we were together in a coffee shop or eating Korean barbecue, which we plan to do on Thursday,
Yes, Thursday.
um, I would
Treat
answer it very different. I think because we're on a podcast, and listen, and I try to be as vulnerable as I can on
Yeah,
a
yeah, that's
podcast.
fine.
But I think because I'm on a podcast, I feel like we're wasting airtime if I'm talking about my feelings. I feel
Mm.
like I'm going to take up too much space. Like, let's get to the point. And so, I think part of that is because if we're in a private space and just you and I mean, of course, I'd be more intimate with you.
But
More
the whole
talking.
point is that we can do
I
better.
I know. Yeah, I know, but at the same time, we are being recorded. Like, I can't ignore the fact that we're being recorded, and I'm trying to be as present and, um
I think that's the issue. You're more concerned about how people are
Mm,
perceiving, and I get that too. Like sometimes there's
yeah,
like a bit, of the podcast where you go, okay, this is not what people. I get in my head about it,
yeah.
but I think that what people like is that when we're not in our heads about it and we're more in our hearts
Of
about it.
course, because it's
And
so
I think
real.
I feel like people would have wanted to know, hey, how does it feel to have like hundreds of thousands of people being upset at you? Because that's real shit, you
Was
know?
was it hundreds of thousands?
Well, I don't know. I mean, you have
Yeah, it
hundreds of
probably
thousands
was.
of maybe it was tens of thousands.
No, no, it probably was hundreds, yeah. It felt like hundreds of thousands.
And that so that
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
if I'm curious how you're feeling, I think other people are also curious how you're feeling.
Mm.
And they probably are not like, God, John is so fucking important, and he's all he talks about is his feelings, because that's
And
not
his
true.
hair.
And
All he
he
talks about
does
is
talk
his
about
fucking
his
hair.
hair, yeah, and
Yeah.
his motorcycle. Um, so I think that's what I've been struggling with, is partially that.
Yeah.
Um, and then partially like, yeah, sort of being less present and maybe more concerned about, what other people want rather than kind of what I
I
want, I
I,
guess.
I need to hear this, it's hard to know these kind of things when you're in your own body, and, I always feel like I am vulnerable and present, but, of course, that may not be true.
I mean, how does this how does it sit with you?
It's a good confronting. It's a good confronting. It makes me feel closer to you. When you said to me just a minute ago, like, yeah, I feel like I don't, like I'm not, in a way you said something like I don't feel kind of close to you, like we're drifting as friends, we're not as close. And I sense that too. I think part of that is, we've been texting less. We haven't been, I catch you at the gym once in a while. We haven't been going to like events and stuff. I totally feel that on my side. I don't take it personally. I think a lot of it is just life and, I'm doing a huge life transition. You're always busy. Um, but that was a personal comment, and, I related to that, and that's truth, and I feel that as well. Um, I don't know as far as solutions, but I feel like that's happening in our relationship, which is rippling outward and also part of why, maybe it's time to retire this.
Yeah, I mean,
Not retire our relationship, but retire this project of our relationship.
yeah, kind of a
It's
bummer.
if you don't know, Sean and I collided about a year and a half ago?
A
What did
year.
like a year ago, and,
Yeah.
um, it felt like to me reuniting with a high school friend. It felt honest and real, and we were talking about, stupid things, not stupid things. We were talking about things like cars and motorcycles, but also, like, deeper shit, and also it was an event, so it felt very kind of like summer camp, and I loved it. It was refreshing just to hang out with the dude and just talk about real stuff.
We were on
Um,
vacation.
yeah, yeah, and the connection was real. I loved it. And so we kind of had, this little man crush thing going on, like banter and good stuff. And then I found out he was moving to LA. And so
Be
when I
to be
found out Sean
closer
was
to
moving
you.
to LA, I think in
To
my
be closer.
mind, I imagined, oh, yeah, we're going to, be hanging out every day, all this kind of stuff. But, my house burned down, Sean's transition, like it didn't look the way that at least I imagined,
My
you know?
Sean's transition makes it sound like I'm like transitioning genders.
Well, transitioning to LA is a big deal, man. You know? And it's not just transitioning to LA, it's like and you're experiencing this now, once you get to LA, then, like, transitioning again, getting a different place, like, there's,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Career,
career,
friends.
friends, and,
You, you live in Pasadena, which by the way, Pasadena and East Hollywood and Silver Lake actually very pretty close. In LA, it's
oh, yeah,
close.
if I lived in Venice and you lived in we would straight up never we wouldn't be friends.
Not happening. I have
No,
a
we'd
friend
get
who
long
lives
distance.
in Venice, and we actually met up. We did meet last week. We went to Wi Spa in
Oh,
K Town,
nice, nice.
and we hung out there. And I actually think that I picked up an infection, a toe infection. And this whole weekend, I've been laid up. I'm on a course of antibiotics. My toe swelled up. It was like was terrible. I couldn't
Oh,
sleep. It
man.
was throbbing.
Were you guys, in the sauna and the all the stuff, all the things that we spa?
Everything, everything.
Naked?
Yeah,
Wow.
naked. We were talking about
How did your
life.
toe get infected? I mean, it must have that sounds kinda like, oh, it makes
Well, it
me
could
feel
be. I don't know. Could be like a ingrown toenail, but I think I must have just picked up something gross there. I don't know.
yeah, yeah. I'm allergic to bless you, I'm allergic to public, spas, public bathhouses. When I was a kid, my earliest memories in Korea is being with my grandma in a public pool, I think, or public bathhouse, and it's always been, like, something I'm not into.
Well, uh,
But anyway,
you you're not really comfortable being naked around other people.
well, that too, I'm not
I
that
feel like
comfortable
that's it's connected.
yes, that they're both connected, they're both connected.
It's part of the
Yes,
whole,
yeah,
getting to know John thing.
yeah,
I did,
huh.
yeah, I was hanging out in the sauna with my buddy naked and in the steam room and no, not the steam room. So apparently the steam room at night in these spas is oftentimes where a lot of gay activity
Not in the
happens.
Korean spas, maybe the
Yes,
Russian
in
spa
the Korean
really?
no, yes,
Oh,
in the Korean
wow.
spas. Yeah. I went our friend Sarah,
Yes, very well.
when I first came to LA, we went and had bibimbops. You
Bibimbap,
know
yeah.
what bibimbap is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
Vanessa's favorite.
I love a bibimbap.
It sounds like a K-pop star group.
It's
Have you guys
not,
heard of Bibimbap? Their new
it's
song?
rice and meat and veggies and an
Yeah, yeah.
egg, in a hot clay pot. Anyways, I looked up, good bibimbops, and I found this weird Reddit thread, and it was like, "Oh, you gotta go to Century Day and Night Spa/driving range." So this K
To
spa
get the
has a driving
bibimbap,
range.
you gotta go to a
To
spa?
get to get to get a bibimbap, yeah,
Right,
they have
right.
a great bibimbap. So we went, and and then I told some people, "Yeah, I went to Century, Day and Night for a bibimbap," and they're like, "Oh, dude, that place is a super well-known gay hookup spa."
Mm,
And I didn't go into the wet rooms,
yeah,
If for those who don't know, these Korean spas are split up in between wet and dry
right,
floors,
right.
basically. And the wet is like, and it's usually separated by genders. And that's gonna be like your steam room, your sauna, your hot tub, all that stuff. And then you go up to the Jim Jabam,
I
Jim
don't know what that
Jabang.
is. Yeah.
That's the dry spot. That's like where you have all the
Mm,
different
mhm,
saunas where you're wearing clothing, and
mhm.
that's mixed gender. Anyways, Century Day and Night. Don't go there, John. I don't
What,
think you'll be comfortable.
how do you hook up in a sauna, though? I mean,
I think
because
you just jerk off,
oh, because it's so steamy, you can't see,
kind
and
of.
it's yeah, that's kinda I kinda like that. That's a little kinky. I could see myself
Okay,
doing
hold
that.
on.
I don't think I would
My
jerk someone off, but I would definitely do something, in the sauna with someone.
okay, what though?
And, with a woman, not with men,
Oh,
is what I'm saying.
oh, oh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's something. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
but not
I
a
could see
guy.
that. You're sweaty, you're steamy, it's I love it. It's like a reminds me of the shower scene in Risky Business when I was 13. I was like, "What is going on in the shower?" And it's like steamy sex happening with, Tom Cruise and who's
Well,
that
all
guy?
right, let's just
Yeah,
talk about it. Shower sex,
not
I
into it.
feel
Not into it.
overrated, overrated,
Overrated. Yeah,
overrated.
yeah. And you know what? Rarely, because most people do like it. Why are you not into it?
Uncomfortable. You need like a 2, 3 shower head situation. Like it's got to
Like a car
be
wash
like
shower, like a car wash shower, and then you also
something.
need seats.
You need seats, you need a bench. It's so generally speaking, your regular old tub in your apartment, I find it uncomfortable. I find
Yeah,
it dangerous,
yeah. Slippery.
slippery, glass, shower door, high risk. Also, someone's cold. So
Oh, right. Someone's always left out.
someone's
Exactly.
kind of
Someone is
cold.
cold. Yeah. Yeah.
I
It's
don't even
usually
really
the
like
dude.
showering with my partner, although if I do, I'm gonna go underneath. I'll go like close to the wall underneath that little area between the wall and the shower spray.
Mm.
And then they can have most of the spray, and then I can kinda duck in and out a little bit. But if you're behind the person who's getting sprayed, you're gonna freeze. Water is not a good lubricant. It's actually a very bad lubricant. It
I
can
didn't know
dry
that.
out.
Why?
It's just not.
Oh.
It's not slippery.
Um, I agree with you. Hot tub sex or bathtub sex is great. One of the other reasons why I don't like shower sex is I have anxiety about the running water. Like
Oh, the bill.
yeah. I've always had like people who take 1 hour showers. I'm like, how the fuck do you stay in a shower and just let that water run and you're calm about it for an hour?
Take a
Um,
bath.
dude, my showers are like 7 minutes, and so if we're gonna be intimate in the shower, I have this like anxiety that that there's a ticking clock. We gotta hurry up, and that's one of the reasons why I don't like it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
That makes
bathtub's
sense.
different. Bathtub, there's no ticking clock or
No
jacuzzi.
ticking clock. Again, though, not good lubricant. Like having sex underwater is not.
No, I never like that. Yeah, no,
So
you don't feel anything underwater. It's like it's muted.
it's muted.
It's
Yeah,
muted.
it's grayed out. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I guess if there was like, I don't really love hot tubs. I'm not a hot tub guy. I'm a hot spring guy. That's totally
Yeah,
different.
I'm a hot
But
tub guy. You're a hot spring guy.
I don't like hot tubs. I don't like the chemicals. I don't like the smell.
I'll tell you what, hot tub while it's snowing, Sean. Hot tub while it's snowing is fucking amazing in the mountains.
Hot spring while it's snowing, even better.
I've
Hot
never
spring,
really
natural.
doesn't hot springs smell like sulfur though? Like farts?
Some of them.
Yeah, I can't get
Some
past
of
that.
them, not all of them.
I know it's good for your skin and the water's great, but the sulfur smell, oh god, I can't.
But it's all natural
I know, I love it,
in
but I don't
nature,
I know, I get
like
it, I
in
get it,
surrounded by
I get it.
nature, and
But I need a little bit of city, and that's why we're different. You could go camping, I can't. I look for the outlet to plug in my blow dryer, and so the hot tub is nature,
do
but it's a little
you
city.
do you use a blow dryer?
That's an exaggeration, Sean, come on.
No, but I'm curious. Do you blow dry your hair?
Look at my hair. Does it look like just wake
I
up
don't
and roll?
know. I don't know. You get a perm. I don't know what your hair
Uh, I
care
don't use
looks
it.
like.
Sometimes I towel dry, put some product in it. Very, 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 once in a while, use a blow dryer.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's more to charge your phone, this outlet, this
I
theoretical
just use
outlet.
it as kind of a exaggerated, I don't know if it's called a metaphor that, here's the other example I use is when we start a fire in the woods or not in the woods, in the Airbnb, I always joke about how I look for the switch to turn the fire on. It's the same kind of thing.
I mean, I had a gas fireplace in Arizona, and I gotta say, it's really nice. You
No,
even had a remote.
no. The actual wood, I don't know how to make a fire, but when my friends make a fire for me, it's one of my favorite. Just sitting and I did this for 6 hours on the MDMA thing. I just sat down, stared at the fire. And by the way, speaking of our friend Sarah, who's the one that guided me, she did some magic where she made the fire turn blue, and she didn't tell me. And I was like, Is this me? Or you?"
Oh, did she
And then
use some
she
some
used some,
chemicals? Yeah,
yeah. And I was like, "Dude, is the fire blue and orange and red, or is this me?" And she was like laughing. I was like, "Okay,
that's
you did some
hilarious.
fucking shit." But yeah.
I know you like fires because when we did our retreat, you were all about
Oh yeah,
sitting in front of it and
yeah, I love it.
even with
And
the
then
door
yeah,
open.
we were arguing about the door, like a married couple. Hey,
Wh
I want to say something before we move on about the podcast.
Sure.
This is genuine. And this is also why I actually feel, closure with this, at 52 episodes. Uh, when in sitcoms, they wanna end on a high note? When the sitcoms that like Friends or like Seinfeld or these amazing sitcoms, Cheers, they're like, "This is great, it's the peak, I wanna end while I feel great about it." And, um, dude, I'm really proud of this podcast. I love this experience, I think it's good. Um and I wanna end on that note, you know? And so that's part of this is, like, I have a lot of acceptance now with projects and being unattached to when they're supposed to end and when they're not. How much of it is me, my ego, and how much of it is kind of like, just intuitively feeling calm about something coming to an end. And with this, dude, I feel very calm and I feel very like, "Wow, we did good work." We met some people on the roof. Like, I feel like people are responding. We made some people think, like, we answered questions, and I feel like this is not a chapter that I would wanna erase because I really love this chapter, so,
Mm.
um, I don't have, like, "Oh, we should have done this," or I've had projects where I felt like, I don't wanna show people, and this is not one of them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, I
Yeah,
really
well,
do
that's
feel like we
sweet.
did good work.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was easy, it was fun. I think we helped some people. It's definitely something I'm proud of.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not like, "Oh, I'm never gonna wanna," you know, tell
It
people about this project.
it's also permanent. The sky, and it's in the message in the bottle. It's in the time capsule, and it's
Yeah,
precious to me.
yeah.
Yeah.
We can do better.
I definitely don't wanna delete this. I don't even know if you can, but I don't wanna delete this.
Well, I wouldn't let you.
No, no, no. Yeah.
We can do better, and we did, and now we're done.
We
We got
we
as
did
good as
better.
we're but as good as we're gonna get, that's pretty much that's all we got.
Dude, can we call the last episode 52? We did better. Is that arrogant? Every
We
episode's called "We Can Do Better," except the last one says "We
we
did
did
better."
better. We tried our best.
Ooh, that is doing better. Say reframing it to "We tried our best" is doing better,
We did
not that
try
we
our
did better.
best.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because doing better is forever. That's a lifelong journey.
Yeah, someone was like, "You should change your podcast to We Could Do Hard Things," and I was like, "I think we would Glennon Doyle would be pretty upset about that."
Yeah, that's been done.
I don't think she would be upset. I don't think she would care. She would just have maybe her lawyers send a
It
cease
is a
and
compliment.
desist.
Yeah,
It's a compliment, yeah.
yeah. But hey, listen, what a great podcast experience and experiment. I myself, because I do fucking 3 episodes a week, have kind of been tired of podcasts, and so, this journey with you has been really cool and, um, creative.
Well,
Creative
thanks, man.
philosophies.
That's
Yeah,
sweet.
yeah,
I've also enjoyed, um, our time together. It's been pretty easy.
yeah. Hey, and also, sorry if, I've been a little distant. Hey, there's in Fight Club, there's a saying, I think Edward Norton says, he says, "You caught me at a strange point in my life." And,
Sure. I
when we
mean,
met, you did not. Right now is a is a very strange time in my life, and so you're catching me. Not that you caught me when I was just normal John Kim, but now you're catching me at a very strange time in my life. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, that's fair. I mean, I obviously we weren't expecting the fires and also how
Dude,
that has impacted you.
I'm aftershock still. So it's not just the fires, it's like the fire, it's the intersection of my house burning down, having some kind of strange spiritual awakening, which I'm still trying to figure out, turning 52, which means a lot to me. And then, I know you're sick of me talking about this, but the 6-hour MDMA journey, it's the intersection of those 3 where, dude, I feel like a different person.
What do you mean sick of hearing you talk about it? We talked about it for like 12
I
minutes.
feel like I'm talking about it way too much.
We haven't talked about it.
no, I
You're
know.
talking about it a lot.
Well, because we have very different childhoods, and I mean, I've never done drugs in my life, Sean, so for me, this is like, "What the fuck is this?" And I've never experienced this, and I know with you it's recreational, but for you, it's like, dude, I was doing this when I was 12, so,
Dude, I would
um
love to see you at a rave with like a pacifier or lollipop, like just fully off your head
oh
on
my god.
MDMA. Like
Yeah,
that would be a game changer.
yeah. I mean, I told myself I would never go to Burning Man, but in the last episode, you almost have convinced me by, you telling me what it's like. I was like, "Oh." I'm
Yeah,
open to a lot more things.
why would you not,
Burning
because
Man
of
has
what it
always turned
represents.
me off.
You have I think there's
Judgment?
this thing in AA called yeah, there's this thing in AA called contempt prior to investigation.
Wow, it sounds fancy.
And it's just like people who kind of poo-poo AA without knowing anything about it.
Yeah,
They're like, "Oh, that's not for me. That's for drug addicts, or that's for real alcoholics, or that's
yeah,
for, whatever." I feel like you have a little bit of that,
sure.
a little bit of like prejudgment, like what things mean.
Well, Burning Man, I judged, partly because of Instagram, and Burning Man, I think, started with, the intentions of, the village and the nothing's monetized and all these great things, and then it became kind of like, a poster because of Instagram and maybe not, but that's kind of the brainwashing that's happened to me, so then I see it as like this, kind of like, exaggerated Saturday Night Live skit of wellness and social media, so
Yeah, it's not that.
which which
I
I
mean,
which is unfair. I've
but
never been.
like,
Coachella too.
you want to go to Lake Como, right?
Yes.
Same thing. Same thing.
Oh, because of
Instagrammers,
George Clooney? Like,
yeah, George Clooney, Instagrammers,
yeah, 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 yeah.
people at Lake Como, wellness, all that same thing.
Right, right, right.
Same thing.
Yeah,
Just like
yeah.
life, Instagram didn't ruin everything.
If you don't allow it to, you're right. So
If
it's
you
me
don't allow it
allowing
to,
it
if you
to.
don't allow it to.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's true. But talking to you about Burning Man has, shed some new light and has, challenged me. So, yeah.
But also, like, I don't know. I don't want to go to Coachella.
Yeah, I've been once, and it's like, $100 for a taco, $600 to get in. I mean, it's that's what I mean, like commercialization, monetization, like when things get popular and then it turns into that.
Yeah. So you're allowed to not want to go to something.
Of course, but wellness becoming trendy because of Instagram has made it crusty.
Yeah, but Burning Man is crusty. It's not wellness.
Oh,
There's no wellness I mean, there's very
oh,
little wellness at Burning Man.
I thought it was a wellness festival, like a spiritual wellness.
Mm. Oh my god.
I
No. What?
yeah,
No, I mean,
no,
it's art and music and bikes and dust and
yeah,
dirt
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
like yeah, I don't know about. Sure, there will be like little wellness workshops that people throw, but generally it's more of like a debaucherous party than anything for
Mm,
10 days.
wow.
It's fun. But yeah, it's not wellness. But
Okay.
I could see how you might think that that's what it is based on what you're looking at on Instagram or what Instagram shows you. Cool. Well, I was going to ask you if you have any more tendrils or like things that have emerged because of your journey with MDMA.
Dude, constantly. The it's happening very subtly. Um, Last night we had, friends over and she said, what her friend or therapist, how they described the MDMA. I was like, "Oh, this is brilliant." I'm not gonna say it is poetic, but basically, it was like you take a cloth and you dip it into, indigo dye or something. That's the MDMA experience, and then as life happens, you hang the cloth up and it kind of fades and the sun hits it, it kinda dries out, and then once in a while you dye it back, and then and the MDMA being kind of the dye, right? And so, and every time you do it, the dye doesn't necessarily it might fade, but it's still imprinted, and, she said in a much more poetic way, but I was like, "Wow, that's actually kind of a very accurate, version of what I've been feeling." Um, but yeah, man, I've been having, huge kind of like heartfelt, grounded, present moments, and then that ripples into everything. So whether it's intimacy, friendships, but I'm also like able to take a red marker to things now, which I wasn't before. Like boundaries having teeth, being more protective of my time. And I don't know how much of that is MDMA or just me getting older and then suddenly, not having a house and maybe it's a combination, but being able to say no more, you know,
What
at
are
the
you
same time
saying?
loving more too.
Yeah, yeah. What are you saying no to? Anything in particular?
This podcast.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Wow.
That was comedy. That was me trying to be
That's
funny.
good.
It was pretty good. Uh,
Anything else?
yes, a few different projects that don't light me up. Um, I'm saying no to Los Angeles, Sean.
Mm.
Dude, I almost got teary-eyed because LA and me, I'm Tupac, right? And, I've always stood up for LA, championed LA. I was like, "Biggie was wrong. New York's where you visit. LA's the home."
Yeah.
And, I'm saying no to LA.
To all the New Yorkers out there, it's great. It's a great place to live.
I mean, talk about expired relationships. My relationship with Los Angeles has expired, man, and I think, dude, it's I know it's strange. I've been here since I was 3, and it's all I know. I mean, look, Sean has traveled everywhere, so, I almost feel like you're like a nomadic person at heart, like you don't even have a home and your home is the world kinda thing, right? Experiences.
Okay.
Um, no, I'm envious of that because, for whatever reason, I've never left Los Angeles, and every city in Los Angeles has been a chapter of my life, rebirth in K-Town, marriage in Studio City, college in Northridge. Like every time I drive around LA, it's a literally a yearbook of my life.
Yeah, yeah.
And
That's
I've
wild, by the
fallen
way.
what's that?
That's wild. That's a wild.
It's wild, but it's kind of sad. It's
Yeah,
kind of sad that Reseda is my 20s, but I've fallen out of love with LA and
great.
that's part of this, yeah.
I hope you fall in love with travel.
Yeah, or I might travel a little bit, Costa Rica for a year, and then I may have to come back and then fall back in love with LA, I don't know, but right now, the idea of getting on my motorcycle and driving up PCH or the hugging canyons of Malibu doesn't excite me at all.
Yeah.
I haven't been on
Been
a
there, done
bike.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm looking for home, and you're maybe looking for adventure.
Mm, yeah, maybe true.
Hey, can I park my truck on your in your driveway for 4 months?
I don't have my in the house that burned down?
Yeah.
That private road is gonna be starting to fill with, people are gonna start doing construction, they're re they're what's it called? The phase 2 of debris, so that whole street because it's private and there's a cul-de-sac, we have to keep it open, like, nothing parked and,
No, in your like, just let me park it in your garage. There's no garage.
there's no garage.
Just right there on the pad.
I don't know.
Sounds like
Just
a no.
weird. I don't know.
Sounds like a no.
Um,
My friend's in the Pacific Palisades, so I could park it in there
oh, now
on
you're
their
measuring our friendship because, I feel
Hey, it
weird
was
about
just a question. So it wasn't a serious question, but you did give me a serious answer. So,
Yeah, there's something I don't I'm very kind of protective of that space, and I don't know because we don't have any answers of what we're gonna do with it. I don't know if I want, someone to store wait, why? Where are you going?
it was not a serious question, John.
Oh, I thought you were going somewhere. I mean, it makes sense. It
I
makes
am. I'm going to
sense.
Montreal for the summer, and I need to park my truck
Oh,
somewhere, so it
oh,
was kind of
okay.
a joke.
Hey,
But it
Hey,
got
Shaun.
awkward. It got a little
Okay.
awkward. Yeah.
Okay. So red marker. Red marker, Shaun. I'm gonna say no,
No.
I'm sorry. I love you, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna say no.
Just say no next time.
I don't wanna be mean. I don't wanna be a dick. I and
But
also I
it's
also wanna help you. So I'm
almost weirder to, like, be like, "Ah, it's a private street, it's phase
no, but those are
2."
the reasons. Those are the reasons. But yeah, you're right. But I could have a little runway before
Just
saying
say
no.
no, just say no. Let's try it again. "Hey, can I park my car in your driveway for 4 months while you're in Costa Rica?"
No.
Oh my god.
It's hard, dude. It's hard to
That
just say no. It's so rude.
it sounds hard. But it's almost harder. Okay, I'll be honest with you, it's almost harder to receive these, like, half no's than it is a real no.
Mhm. How can I say no without just saying fucking no?
Here,
Like, how can I
you
I
ask
feel
me,
like
I'll
I
show
need to
you.
give you an explanation. Hey, Shaun, can I park my motorcycle in your driveway while you're gone?
No, sorry, that's not gonna work for me.
Mm. And then do you say anything else? Or that's it.
No, and then I wait to see what you say.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's what years of therapy looks like. Maybe I need to do more therapy because I don't think I could just say no like that. I mean, I should be able to. Yeah, and you
I
didn't really hurt me, but yeah, no, it's not gonna
sorry,
work
I
for me.
can't do that. I'd love to help, but I can't. We don't have
Okay, so
room in
don't
the
don't you feel an urge to say why? Or you just
you could just
period?
you could just say it. Well, no is a complete sentence.
Yeah, yeah,
You
I've
don't have
heard
to be
that.
an asshole about it, but,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
but you can just say, like, "Sorry, it's not gonna work."
Yeah, okay, so, okay, ask me again. Ask
"Hey,
me
can I
again.
park my driveway in your my car in your driveway for the summer?"
No, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry, it's not gonna work. We
Okay,
can't. Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
yeah,
I could do
that's
that.
better.
I could
That's
do that. I
better.
just I
You
just can't do no, period.
you
Like,
need a
I
little practice, though.
I do need practice.
A little practice.
Yeah.
It'll come because I think it's, like, where it comes from.
Mm,
It's like, it
the
has to come
yeah.
from you taking care of yourself,
Yes, not from you being a dick.
or for you being afraid of what the other person is gonna think of you,
Yeah.
right? Because like, you were giving all these, like, "It's a private road, it's phase 2," like, all these things
I
that
mean, but
don't
those are
it's
true, but
true,
yeah.
but they don't matter to me. It doesn't matter, it's just like, the reality is that, like, that's not gonna work for you. That's what's important in this
Mm,
conversation. It's a no for you.
wow. Um, maybe my red marker is out of ink.
Well, maybe it's a highlighter. I don't know. It's good. It's
It's
good.
a
This is
pencil.
good. Okay, here's where I learned all this stuff. I learned all this stuff going to cuddle parties
Oh,
where
with the permission. Oh, of course, I mean, if
consent,
someone's touching you,
consent.
yeah, yeah, you gotta be very
Well, you can't just touch someone. You have to say like, "Hey, would you like to,
of course.
cuddle or
Yeah,
whatever?"
yeah, yeah.
And then they'll say, "Thank you for asking, but no," or "I'm not available for that," or "No, thank you." And then the response is, "Thank you for letting me know."
Mm.
So if you had said no, I would have been like, "Thank you for letting me know," or "Thank you for
So,
considering it."
listen, if you were a stranger or I didn't know you well and you were like, "Can I park my truck at your house?" My no would come a lot faster. But because you're a friend, I'm really trying to consider it. I'm also thinking like, would Vanessa be cool? Like, I'm,
Yeah,
really
yeah,
trying to
sure, sure, sure.
maybe say
There
yes.
are
Yeah.
more considerations,
Yeah.
but it was still a no.
It was still a
And
no.
I will say it's harder to say no to a friend than it is to a stranger
Of course. Of
because
course.
people want to be there for their friends. There's
Yeah.
also some people pleasing
Yeah.
stuff.
You know what I wanted to say? I wanted to say, um, Sean, no, because it's a sacred space. That's what I wanted to say. I didn't
I
want,
would have
but I didn't.
loved to hear that.
Yeah, that's what I really wanted to say. I didn't say that though. Instead, I went logic, and I thought you would then judge me because no, it's sacred space. So then I went to like phase two and debris, and here are all the reasons what neighbors are going to be building.
Phase 2. It's like it's then you're like, "Oh, it's to protect my truck," like, "Oh, there's gonna be dust, and the truck will be
Yeah, yeah,
dusty,"
yeah.
and
That's yeah. That's like
but,
yeah.
oh my god, I would have loved to hear,
Mm,
"No, it's a sacred space."
yeah.
Like,
That's my truth. That's my
that would have
truth.
felt great. That would have felt I would be like, "Of course, oh my god,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wasn't thinking about it as a sacred
yeah,
space.
yeah.
Now I
I mean,
can't even
it
believe I
is
asked you in the first place?"
right.
That's I like that.
Yeah, it's powerful. Lots of
That's way m
learning. Lots of learning from me too.
Yeah, it's a sacred space.
Truth is truth, You don't have to be a dick about it, but, I think, like, I'm basically what I'm hearing you saying is I appreciate truth more than you backpedaling or trying to, take care of me.
Totally. Take
Yeah.
care of you. I'll
Mm,
take care of me.
mm.
We'll meet somewhere in the middle.
And also, a friend that allows you to take care of you is so generous,
Yes.
you know?
And I would have said, "Thank you for letting me know." That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
Totally.
yeah. And if you were someone else, I would think you're being, passive aggressive and all these other things. But even if you were, that's not my business. I don't need to hold that space.
Oh, like when by saying, "Thank you for letting me know"?
Or I don't know, however, whatever you would say after that, or like, "Oh, okay," whatever. I would just
Yeah.
think it's aligned with, something. I know you and I know it's not, but there are other people where it's.
Well, listen up, everybody. I'm looking for a place to park my truck for 4 months.
And listen, everyone, you can say no with a period. You can say, "Sean, no."
Well,
Sean's
if
able to handle that.
you don't have to just send me a message to say no, because we don't know. I don't know, you know.
Yeah.
But if you have a place, spec- or especially like a garage or something where my truck could be safe, let me know. Yeah, Roger and I are going to Montreal for the summer.
Oh, wow. See? But this is also why, Sean, your lifestyle is very different than anyone I know, because you are always going somewhere or coming from somewhere, which is great. Like you're living
It's great, but it's actually challenging, logistically challenging.
logistically challenging, but
Like I
also,
can't. So my also what?
but that's why, as far as friends, of course, we see each other at the podcast and once in a while at the gym, but it- just because of the way that you live, we can't hang out for hours at coffee shops daily. That's not how you roll. You know what I'm saying?
Well, when I'm here, we can, but we don't.
But you're like a stone skipping in the lake. You're like,
I
you
mean, I've
know?
been here since December, and I'm going to Montreal for 3 months,
3
and
months.
then I'll be back.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, it's challenging. There are some challenges to this lifestyle,
Yeah.
um, but also I get to go see my Montreal friends for 3 months,
Yeah,
and
it's
I get to
great.
have a Montreal experience where I'm not driving a car and I'm walking and riding my bike everywhere,
Mm,
and like I really want to have that because I don't have that here.
yeah.
LA is just not like that.
How do you feel about LA now that you've been here for a while?
I like it. I think it's fine. I think it's like a fine place for me to live for a few years.
Yeah,
I'm
but it's
giving it
not
a few years.
it's not a home.
I don't know. I don't know. I've never been able to really project myself that far into the future.
Mm,
That's just not what I do.
yeah.
Is this place good enough for now? Yeah. And I came here for career stuff, and so I'm going to continue to do career stuff. But like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I overthink. Maybe I overthink everything.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
So I think for now it's good. It's good enough, and I'm excited to come back.
Yeah.
But my landlord will not let me sublet, and so I have to leave this apartment when I leave
Oh,
because I can't
jeez.
afford to just keep it empty for 3 months.
So you have to find a new place.
When I come back, yeah,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah,
like
that's tough.
kind of stressful.
Yeah, of course. That's a huge
Um,
stress. Finding a new place, and also you have a dog, like, that's really
well, I got to
stressful,
find a
man.
new place because I also need to empty out my storage unit in Arizona. So I do want to bring my stuff here and make it home.
So Sean has, stuff kind of scattered, San Francisco, Arizona, Montreal.
Nothing in San Francisco.
Oh, you own property in San Francisco, but you don't have stuff there.
Correct.
Yes. Yeah.
I have a storage unit in Arizona with a car and boxes, bikes. And so like, what I didn't realize about living in LA is that like all the houses are kind of small unless you're balling, but like,
Yes. Yes. Well,
finding a one car garage with a little room for storage is going to be actually kind of tricky.
it's not that they're small, they're just expensive. Everything's expensive in Los Angeles.
Right.
It's
Right.
exploded. I mean, no,
Right.
there's big houses here. They're just at 10 grand a month, that's
Well,
all.
yeah, that's why I can't afford that.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so that's what I said. It's going to be hard for me to find something unless I'm balling and I'm not balling.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I guess manifestation is a thing, and I'm going to call it out into the universe. I actually
Yeah.
went on a date last week, and this woman was like, "Oh, my old apartment, I think, is still available because the guy doesn't really rent it to anybody unless he really likes you." and it's in Silver Lake and it has a one-car garage. So,
Oh,
there's stuff out there.
yeah, that's how things happen. Stars
That's
line
how
up.
things happen. Yeah.
I vote that this episode, which I feel was really intimate, we don't do questions. I like this. I feel like, we had a really honest conversation. I feel like we would have the kind of conversation, that if no one was listening. That's what it felt like to me today.
Well, that's what I was hoping for this whole time.
Yeah. But this one was special because we talked about, how we felt about the podcast ending, you
Mhm.
know? So,
Yeah. Thanks, man.
yeah.
You can still leave us a voicemail at 657-549-1001. I've got 21 people signed up for Love Camp.
Mm.
We got room for 20 more.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. I want it to be like big and fun, you know?
Will there be a cuddle puddle with permission?
There could be.
With
There
20
could be.
people? That's a huge.
Oh, I mean, the cuddle parties that I've been to have like 30 or 40 people.
I've never been to a cuddle puddle. When you're doing the cuddle puddle, are you sober? Is it optional?
It's all sober. Yeah.
It's all
Well, the ones
sober?
that I've been to for sure.
And how long do they last? How long are you cuddling for?
Well, it's a 3-hour experience, but you're
Wow.
not just cuddling, you're doing all sorts of different things.
Oh, okay.
There's music, you might be
Right.
dancing, you might
Right,
be
right.
like holding hands and eye gazing with one person, you might be
Oh,
like
that's intimate.
doing
Dude,
like a
that is
puppy
intimate.
pile where everyone's like kind of playing like puppies. There's like all sorts of things that you can do.
Wow. Never been, never been. Well,
Well,
who knows? We'll
life
see.
is long, John.
No, no, it's not. It's short, actually.
It's short.
Yeah, it's very short. That's where I'm at with life, but that's just me.
Well, life is short, so you might as well go to a cuddle puddle.
Yeah, maybe I will. Maybe I'll go to a cuddle puddle in Burning Man. Kill 2 birds.
For
Or not
sure.
not not kill 2 birds, plant 2 seeds or whatever it's called.
Plant two seeds.
Yeah, we
Where
don't
are
wanna
you
kill
moving
birds.
to in Costa Rica?
I can't say because people get mad at me because they don't want me to blow the spot up, but it's
Dude,
an
that I
amazing.
read those comments.
Oh my god, that was like the beige underwear comment. I had no
That
idea.
was like, how did that feel?
I was like my first thought was defense, like, "It's my platform, I can say what the fuck I want, it's my story, my journey, this is where I'm going, right? Well, if I'm moving to San Francisco, I can't say San Francisco." But then I thought about it and I was like, "You know what? It's a sacred surf town, and what is beautiful about this town is it hasn't been like, what is it called?
Gentrified.
Gentrified, but there's really cool coffee shops, and it's super special. People come out to, like, watch the sunset and applaud, right? So, like, I get why they're protective of that space because they don't want it to turn into a Nasara. Because once I went to Nasara, I was like, "Oh my god, Nasara is like $15 smoothies, fucking beads." It's the crust of, wellness, as I was saying. But
Well,
also sexy and fun and by the beach and all that.
it's not just that they don't want you blowing up their spot. It's sort of okay. So John made a video where he was like talking about places that he had explored in Costa Rica
Yeah, yeah.
to move,
Yes.
and some of the feedback was pretty negative. Was
Yes.
was very critical
Yeah,
of
but
John.
I think I was being the American that
You
I'm
were
talking shit about.
100%, dude. It
Yeah,
was super tone deaf.
yeah.
And you're like, "Well, this place is kind of a shithole.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
place
yeah.
is kinda like," and then it's like, "But what about the people who live there?"
I know, I know,
You
I know,
know?
I know. You know what I did? I was trying to be like a journalist. Like I was trying to be like if I saw this video, I would want information. So I was like, just be blunt. What did you like? What did you not like? And so I wasn't careful or considerate about people. Like I said, Tamarindo is, it smells like Sammy Hagar
Right.
because it's a party town and stuff. I thought that was funny. And people are like, dude, I fucking live there. And I don't
You
see it
could
that
you
way.
could say like, "Oh, Tamarindo to me feels a little bit too party." There's like a big party
Yeah.
culture and it's just not for me.
Yeah.
That would have been another way of saying it. That would have
Right.
been
More
less funny.
consideration.
Less funny,
It wasn't
more
time to be funny. That's right, right, right. I should be more considerate.
I think I think
Should I
there's
take that
something
video
here.
down? Fuck, I don't now I'm feeling
It's
I
too
should
late.
take
It's
that.
like 5 weeks ago. This is something to consider though when you're like, talking about minivans and gray underwear and Sammy Hagar, Tamarindo smells like Sammy Hagar. There are people that drive minivans and live in Tamarindo,
Well,
and
yes, but I can say I can say what it represents. I am not saying I'm not saying everyone who drives a minivan have no life. That that might be implied. That's not what I'm saying. It's for me, you know.
yeah, yeah. I think I think it's im
Rosarito, Tamarindo, Tijuana, other parts of Mexico were amazing when I was in my 20s. It's not where I'm at now with a family of 52.
I think it's important to highlight that and, like, keep it very personal.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't
I
know.
I'm
There's
gonna take
something
that
there.
video down. See, and
There's
now I
something
feel
there.
like, I'm gonna take that video down because I feel like,
No, leave it up so we can put it in the show
I
notes.
don't want more. That's fucked up. You wanna use my ignorance for more listeners to this
I don't think
podcast.
it's ignorance. I think it's just like it's an older John.
Yeah, there is a part of me that doesn't believe in ripping out chapters, and,
Mhm.
it's a reminder, I guess, of, learning about self and how I have to do another video about it. You know what? That's what I gotta do. Instead of taking that down, I need to do another video about it saying how that was actually inappropriate, and I've learned from that.
Yeah,
That's
I
what I
think
need to do.
just, like, considering your impact on people.
Yeah. God, I'm getting fucking schooled today. Can we call this just John Gets Schooled
I don't think
episode?
you're getting schooled.
It feels that way. It's not
Really?
that's not my truth. That's not your intention, but it kinda feels that way. It's just early. It's just early for, a
It's early
self-review,
for
for self-inventory. Also, I gotta get going because I'm doing the thing that, it's like, I don't wanna do.
Okay, well, have fun. Love you, bud.
Thank you for listening. Be well, and, if you have a driveway for Shaun, please reach out or a
Yes,
question
thank you.
for us.
Or a garage or a question for us.
Yeah.
Have a beautiful week.
All right. Shaun, Korean barbecue, Thursday.
Thursday.
All right.